once again, you know my name, and that is my cell phone number. And you can reach me at that number, or you can call me, or you can send me a text at the Worldwide Hair Colors Association .org, or you can send it one to chromastics.com. And today's May 20th, 2024, and here we go. Now, what I'm going to talk about today is very simply, I'm going to take each of these groups of colors, neutrals, golds, red, orange, red, violet, blue, violet, golden beige, the XL series, and concentrates. And I'm going to talk about each one individually. Now, at any time, uh, oh, at any time, Carrie, the answer is yes. I can see I can see what you wrote, and I don't have a clue. Um, there is no chat on this. It's all Q&A. Um, uh, Luke asks, what are my opinions regarding hybrid system colorants like shades EQ? I don't know what you mean by hybrid system colorants. Um, I don't know what that means. So it's a new term for me. So just let me know what it means and I will respond as quickly as I can. Okay, so here we go. And I also wanted to talk about developers. Depending upon the texture of the hair, you use 10 volume for fine hair. You use 20 volume for regular or medium textured hair. 25 volume for better gray coverage, and you make 25 yourself by mixing equal parts of 20 and 30. I used to make 25, but not anymore. And because they started asking for crazy amounts of it to be made. 30 volume is for coarse textured hair, and 40 volume is for high lift problems, high lift colors. Oh, dual dye systems. Um, I didn't know, I didn't realize, Luke, that there were any direct dyes in Shades EQ. I thought they came out of the bottles sort of an orangey color, and that has nothing to do with the system itself. I thought they were 100% oxidative, but maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know. I simply do not know. Uh, what happened here? Okay. 40 volume for high lift. Okay, let me start with the neutrals. Now, first of all, the neutral colors can be used alone for white coverage. However, remember that if you have salt and pepper hair, they appear warm on the pigmented hair. Now, this is because, first of all, depending upon what developer you're using, you're lightening the hair a little bit. Whether it's 10 or 20 volume, you're still lightening the hair a little bit. But remember that a true neutral color will always appear warm on pigmented hair. And the reason it appears warm is because the hair itself adds lightening to the hair. And then Luke just wrote me that Shades EQ has nitro dyes. I did not know that. It's a new part. It's new information for me, and I do not like anything that is mixed because we discovered many years ago when working that if you include something that is not permanent in a color mixture, then it fades much more rapidly than a color mixture. So then than a pure oxidative mixture. Neutral. Now, the neutral series is how you create ash colors when you mix them. If, for instance, if you want a soft coverage, you mix it with green concentrate. If you want a regular coverage, then you mix it with blue-green. And if you want a smoky coverage, then you mix it only with blue. And remember also that smoky ash colors are always appear to be a level darker than what you expect because of the smokiness of the blue concentrate that you add. When you add blue violet to neutral colors, that's how you create tobacco colors. And whenever you mix a gold with neutrals, that's how you create a warm neutral color. Now, in most of these cases, it's generally 3 parts neutral and 1 part concentrate for the tobacco, for the warm. But when you're using concentrates, remember that concentrates are have a chart specifically for themselves that tells you how much to add to each different level of color. Any questions about neutrals before we go on? Okay, no questions. I'm going to wait 1 second here to see if anybody else. Are the results the same if you use a neutral with a gold color? Well, that's a really good question, Carrie. Because if you mix neutral with gold, what happens is that the color itself, the neutral color, becomes 1 level lighter with warmth added to it. And the reason that it becomes 1 level lighter is because when you mix 15 grams or 1/2 of an ounce of color with 45 grams or 45 grams or 1.5 ounces of neutral, that's when you end up getting 1 level lighter with color. I did an entire webinar about this somewhere. It's on either it's in my YouTube channel or it's mixed. It's on the Worldwide Hair Colorists. Carrie also asked, when would one choose to use a 5G over adding gold concentrate with a neutral? Well, remember that if you were using if you were using originally a 6G, excuse me, a 6 neutral, then wait a minute. When would you choose to use a 5G over adding gold concentrate with a neutral? Well, it's really simple because the gold series, and I'm going to talk about that in a second, gives you 100% gray coverage. So let me just move to the golds right here. Here are gold colors. First of all, if you're going to use it on white hair, it will give 100% coverage. Now remember that gold by itself is not yellow. It's a neutral type of color, but with warmth to it. And so it appears warm if you put it on pigmented hair, very much warmer. But it can be used all by itself. Carrie, give me a call when we're all done, and if you want to talk about this a little bit more in detail. Remember that also gold is much better than neutral for diluting red, orange, and red violet colors. And the reason that it's better than using neutral is because the one of the couplers that's used in neutral also takes red orange colors and makes them appear more a little bit on the red violet side. So you don't want to use that, but gold does not affect it the same way. So therefore you're going to use a gold instead of a neutral for diluting red orange and red violet. Whenever you add blue violet to gold shades, that's how you create a warm beige. But if you add green concentrate to a gold color, that's how you create a cool beige. The difference between a cool beige and a warm beige is just simply going from blue violet to green concentrate. That's it. Okay, Carrie says she's going to call me when we're done. That's good. Thank you. Okay, next. Any questions about gold coverage right now or using gold products? And then we're going to go on to red orange. Now remember that red orange can be used for maximum brilliance. If you put it on, if you put red orange on white hair, it becomes really brilliant color, super, uh, really bright. But if you want to dilute it, remember you dilute it with gold, not neutral, because neutral causes a shift in the tonality and it begins to look a little bit more red violet. If you want to increase the redness, then use red concentrate. But remember this, that if you're going to dilute it with gold, you normally want to use 3 parts RO and 1 part gold. This means this is a tricky thing to understand. If you're using 3 parts of 4RO and 1 part of G, then remember that because it's 15 gram ratios generally, what you're using, then the RO becomes 1 level lighter. Even though you use a 4RO, it becomes a 5RO. And if the golden part is going to raise up 3 levels. So that means that because there's 3 parts of red orange. So remember, you probably want to use a 4 gold because it's going to go from a 5 to a 6 to a 7, which means you're adding a little bit of warmth in the color. I know that's a little confusing, but there's also a YouTube video on diluting color and why you don't always get what you think when you're mixing 2 shades together. Okay, next is red violet. Now, you can use red violet pure by itself, or you can dilute it. But for maximum brilliance, you use the uh, uh, red violet all by itself. If you're going to dilute it with gold, not neutral. But even if you do use neutral, it will still remain a red violet color because the you don't have you the extra arm of it does not alter the red violet. It stays red violet. If you want to increase the redness of it, just simply, that was a coupler I was talking about. If you want to add red concentrate, it increases the redness of red violet colors. And remember also, it's used in a 3-to-1 ratio 3 parts red violet, 1 part gold, or this could be neutral if you want. And it is, you can use it for gray coverage or anything else that you want. Okay? Now, Kevin Unthank has asked what would be the best way to create a gold violet? Now, well, when you mix violet and gold together, let me go back here. Let me go back here to the gold. Remember, when you mix gold with a concentrate or with blue violet, you end up with a beige shade. So I don't know. I don't know how to answer this. Unless you were to take gold and then mix your blue and red together to make a violet concentrate and then add it to the gold shade, in which cases, depending upon which level gold you're using, whether it's a 6 or a 5 or a 6 or a 4, you would add either enough violet concentrate to it, and there's also the chart that shows you how to do it, and to make red violet, or to make violet. But I think that's the answer you're looking for. I hope it is. Let me go back here again. Red orange, red violet, blue violet. Now, once again, now this is a very interesting topic, blue violet, because blue violet can be used by itself or it can be intermixed. Now, if you use it by itself and you put it on pigmented brunette hair, natural brown hair, you don't want to use it on salt and pepper because it will end up with the white hair will all become a blue violet color. But if you use it by itself on pigmented, 100% pigmented brunette hair, you end up with a slightly warm color all over. So it will become more of a, what's the word, caramel type color if you put it on brunettes. Now, if you're going to use it as a highlighter, then you mix it with either XL Cream or XL Super. Now, the way that I have done it for years in the salon was that I would mix it with XL Super, and I would use three parts XL Super and 1 part either 4 BV or 6 BV, and that would give me highlights that were a caramel color on hair that was brunette to start with. If you mix blue violet with red orange, with red violet and gold, you end up with strawberry color. Obviously, it has to be lighter shades, otherwise it won't work. It'll be too dark. But if you mix blue violet with red violet and then a deeper gold shade, you end up with nutmeg color. But if you mix blue violet with red orange and XL Cream, you end up with different levels of melon color. Now think about the inside of a cantaloupe. That is a melon color. Sharon says she's going to try that. I don't know what, but yes. Sharon is a major contributor for everything, and she's I personally think that Sharon is a master colorist. Um, she just won't bother taking a test. But she is truly a master colorist, no question about it. Golden beige. Now, golden beige can be used by itself or diluted. It can also be used as a glaze for brunettes. Now, this is interesting. If you have somebody who has medium to dark brown hair, and you glaze it using golden beige, either 8GB with from deposit only, you end up with a beautiful, super shiny brunette color. But if you mix it with XL Cream or XL Super, then it's used as a highlighter. So you can use by itself with uh, that would be either 8 golden beige or 10 golden beige, or you can dilute it with gold, or you can use it with XL Cream and XL Super as a highlighter. There's so many things that you can do with uh, uh, Mary asked, what's the ratio if used as a highlighter? Um, Generally, what I do is when I use the XL, I assume you're talking about golden beige, um, then all it is just simply 3 parts XL cream or XL super, and then 1 part of the 8 gives you 8 8 golden beige gives you a pastel highlighter. Um, if you want to go deeper than a pastel highlight, then use your XL Super and your XL Cream and only mix it half and half. And then you'll get less lightning action out of the Super, but you'll have a deeper highlighter color. Sharon Rogers, the violet concentrate and gold. Um, uh, she's trying hard to nail it down. Um, um, I think that what that says, oh, Mary Bush says her question was for the blue violet highlights. Let me back up here. Let me back up. Blue violet. Um, um, oh, to use as a highlighter with XL Cream or XL Super. So if you use 3 parts XL Super and 1 part of XL of 4BV, you end up with a highlighter that is a level 7 highlighter blue violet. If you same thing, if you mix it with XL Cream 3 to 1, then you also end up with a level 7 highlighter, but it will not lighten as much as the XL Super. Remember that XL Cream has 1.6% ammonia and XL Super has 3% ammonia. So it lightens more than twice as much or twice as much. The XL series. Okay, now this is fascinating in another way. Um, Kevin once again asked, can you use half a part of BV and half a part of RV to get violet? Well, it'll be, yes, you can, but it will be, I don't know what level it will be. You'll have to experiment with it. But it's actually going to be more strawberry than violet. If you want to get violet, then the best way is if you mix equal parts of blue concentrate and red concentrate, that gives you a violet concentrate. And then you dilute it either with 30 or 40 parts of clear, and that gives you a very pastel violet color. If you can also use violet, you can use red violet 2RV on permanent color and dilute it with clear, which with just clear, and it becomes, or with XL Super or XL uh, uh, cream, and it becomes a much, much lighter color RV, and it will be more of a violet color. Once again, you have to just experiment with it to figure it all out. Here, now let me talk about shades, XL series. First of all, XL cream can be used as a highlighter or intermixed with any shade. Now, remember that if you're using a 3-to-1 ratio, 3 parts of any color, and you dilute it with 1 part of XL cream, it becomes 1 level lighter. And it still remains the same product that you had originally, because you are not adding any extra ammonia to the formula if you're using an 8, a 9, a 7. But if you're using a 6, then it will get a little bit lighter than you anticipate. XL Super can be used as any type of a highlighter, or it can be mixed with any shade. Now, the same thing, if you're using a 3-to-1, the only difference between using XL Cream and XL Super is that they both give you the same result, except that the XL Super is a much higher lifting color. Now, XL Powder has been designed as a highlighter, and do not add color to it, because color is destroyed when you add it to any XL powder. However, you can create on the scalp lightener using XL powder. The formulas are all in the color manual, which you can download at any time. XL powder mixed with water will remove dye from the hair. Now, and what happens is that the dye becomes unstable and it breaks it all up, and it just washes from the hair. But here's an interesting thing you can also do. If you have previously colored hair, you can mix XL powder with water, and then you can use it as a highlight on the previously colored hair. It's a fascinating thing that you can do with chromastics. I do not know about any other products that uh, you can do it with. And I'm not using any other products, so I don't know. Oh, look at what Luke says. His favorite deep violet at around a level 4 would be equal parts of 2 red violet plus 4 BV. Now, I'm going to assume that that's a permanent color violet that he made. And once again, it was equal parts of 2 red violet plus 4 blue violet. That's his favorite violet color. Carrie Boss says she just recently used the XL cream and XL powder for an on the scalp lightener, and it worked perfectly. Thank you for that little piece of information. Let me see what's after this XL series. Concentrates. Oh, I love concentrates. And there's a reason why there's as few concentrates as there are. First of all, the neutral concentrate was designed to be added to neutral colors to create double N colors. So you don't have to have them in the salon. Once again, you just simply follow the chart. If I remember correctly, the chart is if you're using 10N, then if you're using 10N, then you add 2 grams of neutral concentrate to 60 grams of, and it becomes a double N. It's also to give you better gray coverage on resistant hair. Once again, you use it just the same way with the same charts. If you're using 8N, then I think it's 4 grams that you add to it. Now, gold concentrate creates double G colors, but it can also, which is amazing if you want to do complete coverage on white hair. But gold concentrate adds warmth to neutral colors. So if you're going to use a neutral and you're using 60 grams of neutral color, then you would 60 grams of, let's just say 8N. Then you would add 4 grams of gold concentrate to it with no extra developer, and it would become a warm neutral color. Neutral concentrate softens both red orange and red violet colors. Green concentrate is added to neutral to create soft ash. Green concentrate is added to gold colors to create cool beige. And red concentrate red concentrate can be added to neutrals, golds, red orange, and red violets. But remember that if you're going to add blue concentrate to neutral colors, it creates a smoky color, and it can be used to create a smoky blonde or a smoky brunette. But remember, you only use half of the recommended amount of blue because just using half of the amount still makes the color 1 level darker. For those of you who are interested and don't happen to have a copy, just go to tomdispenza.com if you want to purchase Becoming a Master Colors. It's the same price anywhere in the world. But if you're outside the US, then you've got to go to Amazon.com. But here's what's interesting. Hair color formulas using Chromatics colors. Now, this book, I'm waiting. I don't have the actual printed copies yet. I've ordered them, but I'm waiting. But there's no charge for this book. It is completely free. But the actual cost of printing the book was a little bit more than $5, and the shipping costs are a little bit less than $5 because it ships first class mail. So if you want a copy of this, remember it's not available yet. It will be shortly, but outside the US, you've got to go to Amazon.com, and it's the same price anywhere that you go. And I think I have showed you. Yep, here's what it contains. General information, brunettes, blondes, reds, high lift and super high lift toners, blah, 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 blah. But here's what they look like. Now, this is just a page. I took the brunette page and I made a copy of it. And just so you could see, you can tell that it's a bent page here because it's rounding looking. But yeah, this is what it's all about. And then it shows you with each color, it shows you if you add red concentrate to 701 is just simply made up of 45 grams of 4G plus 15 grams of 4 blue violet. and then you add blue. So in other words, it's a beigey type color. But if you add um, any of the concentrates to it, this shows you what the result will be.